G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Delling from the website and YouTube channel Kangaroo Court of Australia. Now, this is my next instalment on the NACC Robodebt scandal. I just published another article. It's worth listening to and also going to my website and reading that article, because this scandal, I think, over the next few months is going to put a bowling ball right through Parliament House in Canberra there, because it's going to take down a lot of people. The people trying to stand by Paul Brereton, Commissioner Paul Brereton, and back him up, and also Gail Furness, as we're about to find out in this article. She's up to her neck in the corruption as well. The article I just published is titled NACC Inspector Gail Furness muzzled former judge Alan Robinson to protect Paul Brereton and others from criminal charges. And the article was published on Tuesday the 5th of November 2024. And the article starts off, Gail Furness, Inspector of the NACC, published a predetermined judgment last week to protect NACC Commissioner Paul Brereton, the NACC Deputy Commissioners and other NACC staff from criminal charges of knowingly abusing their positions to protect Brereton's friend Catherine Campbell. What Gail Furness has done is a crime in itself, as she is guilty of trying to conceal the serious indictable offences committed by Paul Brereton and others. Former Federal Court of Australia Judge Alan Robinson also has a lot of questions he needs to answer, given he aided and abetted Gail Furness. This article is a follow-up to my previous article titled Inspector of the NACC Gail Furness, SE breaks FOI laws and her office is run by the Attorney General's Department. The first key piece of evidence is the fact that Gail Furness limited Alan Robinson's investigation to only Paul Brereton's conduct. What about the others? Why were they protected? The second key piece of evidence is there's no reasoning given why Paul Brereton's conduct is not unlawful and a mistake in law or fact, instead of a more serious finding such as it's unlawful conduct. Judgments are there to keep judges honest, and given there is no reasoning why Gail Furness and former Judge Alan Robinson decided that Paul Brereton's actions were only a mistake instead of unlawful conduct is scandalous. Why Furness and Robinson didn't give reasons is very obvious, because it is ridiculous to suggest that a former judge with 40 years legal experience like Paul Brereton made a mistake when a first-year law student would be expected to know better. The third key piece of evidence is that the key complaint of the NACC corruptly refusing to investigate the 6 Robodebt referrals was never investigated, because to investigate it fully and hold those people to account, you need to decide if the NACC should have investigated them. Alan Robinson says in his report on page 2, paragraph 6, 7 and 8, paragraph 6, specifically, I am engaged to review the material provided to the inspector by the NACC, including the NACC submissions to the inspector dated 13th of August 2024, and to prepare a report of my findings of fact in relation to the following. 1. In light of the Commissioner's declared conflict of interest, was the management option chosen appropriate and consistent with the law? 2. Were the steps thereafter taken by the Commissioner consistent with the chosen management option and with the law? Number 7. I am also engaged to advise the inspector of my opinion as to whether the conduct I find to have occurred amounted to the officer misconduct as defined in Section 1843 of the National Anti-Corruption Commission Act. Number 8. I am not engaged to review the merits of the decision to commence a corruption investigation. Why did Gail Furness limit Alan Robinson to only investigate and make findings regarding Paul Brereton's conduct? Why not the 3 deputy commissioners and the CEO, etc., who were up to their necks in the scandal? Because Furness and Robinson ran a protection racket is the only conclusion you can come to. Why would Gail Furness spend big dollars hiring former Judge Alan Robinson to make limited findings only in paragraph 7 above? Gail Furness says on top of page 14 in her report, it needs to be emphasised that my role is not to conduct a review of the merits of the NACC decision. I can only investigate corrupt conduct of the NACC and complaints of agency maladministration or officer misconduct made in relation to the NACC or a staff member of the NACC. But Robinson could have easily given his opinion whether the Robodebt 6 investigation should take place and not deal with the merits of the decision by the NACC not to commence a corruption investigation into the Robodebt 6. Knowing whether the Robodebt 6 investigation should take place is powerful circumstantial evidence that would help decide if Paul Brereton and others acted corruptly or not. How can Gail Furness and Alan Robinson make a finding of misconduct against Paul Brereton, yet the others who were involved have no finding made against them? Background. Gail Furness had no choice but to find that Paul Brereton was guilty of misconduct because the NACC said Paul Brereton had recused himself from the matter. But the NACC then admitted to The Guardian on the 15th of August 2024, saying in response to questions that after Paul Brereton had recused himself from the matter, Paul Brereton retained visibility of significant steps taken in relation to the Robodebt Royal Commission referrals and contributed his own views on some issues when requested or when he considered it appropriate. That is, the admission Paul Brereton had not recused himself. Furness's report confirmed the NACC's admissions to The Guardian and says, I found that the NACC Commission's involvement in the decision-making was comprehensive before, during and after the 19th of October 2023 meeting, at which the substantive decision was made not to investigate the referrals. The NACC Commissioner contributed to the discussion at the meeting, settled the minutes of the meeting, and was involved in formulating the reasons for the decision and also the terms of the media statement. And as I said in a previous article, every lawyer in Australia would not be able to stop laughing if they read the judge recused himself, but then retained visibility of significant steps taken in relation to the matter and contributed his own views on some issues when requested or when he considered it appropriate. So, anyone saying Gail Furness did a great job because her findings against Paul Brereton fails to realise she had no choice. They ignore her findings that Brereton made a mistake, actually destroys her credibility, not enhances it, as they would have you believe. How the predetermined judgment fraud worked. Gail Furness found Paul Brereton's conduct was a mistake, and she brought in former federal court judge Alan Robinson to try and give her predetermined judgment some credibility. In Gail Furness's report, she says, Alan Robinson found Paul Brereton's conduct was a mistake, and she agrees as per below. I concluded that the NACC Commission engaged in officer misconduct as defined in Section 184, Number 3 of the National Anti-Corruption Commission Act 2022, being conduct that was not unlawful but arose from a mistake in law or fact. These findings about the declared conflict of interest are based on the advice provided by the Honourable Alan Robinson SC, former federal court judge, whom I engaged to assist me. His advice is contained in the Robinson report, which is attached to this report. So, Gail Furness says her findings about Paul Brereton engaging in officer misconduct by mistake of law or fact is based on advice provided by Alan Robinson SC, former federal court judge. That is a lot of firepower to have a former federal court judge make findings like that, which Gail Furness agreed. On page 28, paragraph 116, Alan Robinson says, the Commissioner's conduct, if engaged in by the NACC, would have been agency maladministration as defined in Section 184.3, being conduct that is not unlawful but arose from a mistake of law. But neither Gail Furness or Alan Robinson say in their reports why they settled on the NACC Act Section 184.3b5 is not unlawful but arises, wholly or in part, from a mistake of law or fact. Furness and Robinson could have made other findings under Section 184, such as A, is unlawful conduct, or B, number 1, is corrupt conduct, or B, number 3, arises wholly or in part from improper motives. But Furness and Robinson chose the weakest finding available, that it was a mistake. Interestingly, the next section is Section 184.3b6, is conduct of a kind for which reasons should have but have not been given, which is exactly what I'm accusing Gail Furness and Alan Robinson of. The reason Gail Furness and Alan Robinson don't give reasons is because their decision that 40-year legal veteran Paul Brereton made a mistake, first-year law student wouldn't make, is that stupid it's beyond belief. Closing arguments. Gail Furness brought in former Judge Alan Robinson to give her judgment more credibility, as she knew her judgment would lack credibility given she found it was a mistake. Given the fact that Gail Furness and Alan Robinson both made such a stupid finding that Paul Brereton's conduct was a mistake, and that neither gave reasons for their findings, shows there was a conspiracy between them. Gail Furness, a barrister, and Alan Robinson, a former judge and barrister, are very experienced legal professionals, and they both know they have to give reasons, and both failed to. What Furness didn't say in her judgment is she muzzled Alan Robinson, and the only decision Robinson could make was in relation to Paul Brereton, because as per paragraph 6 to 8 above, she made sure that other NACC staff were safe from any adverse findings. Gail Furness says at the end of the report, the Commission has accepted the decision should be reconsidered by an appropriate person. And the NACC issued a press release saying the National Anti-Corruption Commission has decided to have an independent, eminent person reconsider its decision not to investigate the Robodebt Royal Commission referrals. Yep, the NACC is going to find some corrupt clown to confirm they made the right decision not to investigate the Robodebt 6, which Gail Furness would know. She should have decided on someone to make the decision. Attorney General Mark Dreyfus didn't set up a corrupt NACC to have it taken down by an honest gatekeeper. Make no mistake, Inspector of the NACC Gail Furness is just as corrupt as Paul Brereton and the others. Commissioner Paul Brereton nor any NACC staff were questioned under oath, nor cross-examined in the witness stand, nor did any of them sign certified affidavits or witness statements regarding the matter. To say Gail Furness and Alan Robinson fully investigated the matter is a joke. Imagine if the NACC operated the same way with the alleged crooks they investigate. But then again, maybe they do. Gail Furness needs to be sacked if she doesn't resign, and Alan Robinson should be banned from any future government work. What Gail Furness did and Alan Robinson did, they investigated the bare minimum. Paul Brereton, that's it. They should have investigated the others. And they're finding that Paul Brereton made a mistake is one of the most corrupt decisions I've ever seen or ever heard. They're looking after their mate. The old attorney respect law kicked in again. And I'll put a link below this video on YouTube so you can click on the link and go to the article. A lot more information in the article. You can click on all the links in the article and read that further information. And the Kangaroo Court of Australia's independent media. I publish a website and a YouTube channel. And I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself and readers of the website. So please support my PayPal account or Patreon account, or you can go to my website and there's a donation page for other donation options. You can donate any amount. You can do one-off donations, or you can do a monthly amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, whatever suits your budget. It'll help you out in a big way. And the link for the Patreon account and PayPal account will be below this video on YouTube and also on my website. And please share this video on social media, and please hit the like and subscribe button. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.